Well, hey guys, welcome once again to Inspirations for Your Life. It is great to be with you on another fantastic evening here with this great show. Welcome everyone. I do say welcome to you right now. And I do want to let you know what the master topic is for the week in case you didn't know. That master topic is none other than. Um, Living with Purpose, Standing Strong, Leading with Heart. We're on Series 4, and the granular topic is Celebrate Progress, Series 4, Show 19, Episode 5. This might be a great time, ladies and gentlemen, to go head off to the kitchen to get yourself something yummy, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's sweet, whether it's tart, whether it's healthy or not. That's totally up to you. Go ahead and do that and hurry on back, guys. Really do appreciate that. I do want to invite you to check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations right after the show. All right, everyone. So hurry on back and let's get this show kicked off. Okay, everyone. Welcome to another empowering episode of Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am your host, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, uh, podcast coach, and host, and your guide on this amazing journey to personal excellence and lasting success. Tonight, I'm diving into something that too many people overlook: the importance of celebrating progress. Whether you're working toward a personal goal, launching a new business, or building healthier habits, learning to acknowledge each step forward is a main secret, kind of a fuel that can propel you toward greater things. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to stop brushing off your small wins and start honoring the momentum you've created. Grab your favorite drink, so settle in and let's get ready to be inspired by this very powerful 10 transformative truths about why celebrating progress is not just helpful, it is truly essential. You ready? We're going to dive in. Okay, everyone. Acknowledge how far you've come, not just how far you have to go. We often fixate ourselves on what still lies ahead, neglecting the powerful story of how far we've already come. Reflecting on the distance you've traveled, the obstacles you've overcome, and the growth you've experienced helps us all under ourselves and to our journey in pride and our purpose. This mind shift fosters resilience and reminds you that you're not starting from zero, you're building from experience. Take a moment to look back and give yourself the credit you deserve. All right, everyone. Number two, small wins are still wins. That's right, everyone. Small wins are still wins. So we need to be celebrating those small wins, guys, definitely. Too often, we wait for the massive milestones before allowing ourselves to celebrate. But the truth is, progress is built upon one small victory at a time, whether it's finishing a tough workout, making difficult decisions, or simply showing up when it's hard. These moments matter and they compound and lead to the big wins we dream about. So, clap for your mini wins. They are the unsung heroes of your success story that can truly propel you much forward, more forward than you imagined. Number three, progress fuels motivation. That's right, guys. Progress does fuel motivation. And when you recognize forward movement, no matter how small it is, it's natural to create a sense of momentum. And that progress becomes a source of motivation that keeps you pushing forward. Think of it like adding logs to a fire. Every bit of recognition feeds your inner drive. Celebrating even the tiniest advancements signals to your brain that you're moving in the right direction. And that motivation can be the difference between giving up and going the distance. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, to definitely take that time and celebrate those small wins because it will empower you. Number four, guys, celebrating builds confidence. Every time you acknowledge your progress, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. This builds your self confidence in a powerful, organic way. It's not about arrogance, it's about cultivating belief in your ability to succeed. When you celebrate your achievements, you anchor your identity to growth rather than perfection. And that's where real confidence thrives. Um, Reflection reinforces growth. Growth isn't just about doing more, it's also about understanding what worked, what didn't, and how you've evolved. Taking time to reflect allows you to see patterns, recognize breakthroughs, and learn from setbacks. When you combine reflection with celebration, you create a feedback loop. So when you combine reflection with celebration, you create that feedback loop that strengthens your learning and sharpens your future efforts. And I think a lot of people miss that because they just don't take the time to say, wait a minute, I am good. I am doing something that's amazing in our lives. And I think that's something that's pretty cool. But for whatever reason, people just get stuck and they don't do that. And so I want to tell you right now that you need to make sure that you do that every single day of your life. All right, guys. So understanding is a very, very big part. Okay. Um, and hopefully you'll understand what all this means because it can truly make the difference in your life. Um, and so, getting on to the point about celebrating builds confidence, you will understand that the more you do it. Number five, reflection reinforces growth. Growth isn't just about doing more, it's about understanding what worked, what didn't, and how you've evolved. Taking time to reflect allows you to see patterns, recognize breakthroughs, and learn from the setbacks. When you combine reflection with celebration, you create that feedback loop, right? Like I was saying, but the thing that people don't get, and I want to say this again, is I did this a second time and we create a loop. And hopefully that loop made you see that yes, a reflection can be powerful. Number six, success is a journey. It's not a destination, it is a journey. And so, one of the biggest myths we're sold on in our life is that success is a fixed place we arrive at and then we're done. The truth is, it's a journey full of peaks, valleys, and turning points. When we accept that we stop rushing and start savoring the process, savoring the moment, living the joy of the moment. Celebrating progress along the way makes the journey meaningful. Life is richer when we honor what's happening now instead of obsessing over what's next. I mean, I know everyone gets interested to know about what's next, but truly, if we don't understand what next means, as opposed to what could be and how we can embrace our life, then we're going to get stuck every time. And we're going to be in this spot where we don't want to move forward. And then we're not going to know why this particularly happens. Okay. So I think that's an important thing that I hope everyone here will truly, truly understand that you too can make this difference in your life when you decide. Okay. When you decide. All right. Number seven, gratitude amplifies the progress. It really does. When you approach your journey with gratitude, every step feels more significant. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's been gained. And that shift brings a sense of fulfillment. It turns ordinary moments into meaningful milestones. When you're grateful for progress, you open the door to greater joy, deeper satisfaction, and emotional resilience. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't really understand. And so they might be thinking that they understand it, but really they don't. And the reason I say they don't is because they do the same things over and over and over again. And I think that's a problem for some people because they try things and then for whatever reason they try again, they try again, they try again, they try again. But then it's like, how do I get to where I want to be? And that can be so very, very, very powerful. Okay. So very, 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 very powerful. And so when we think about, you know, what happens in life, when we think about how our life has changed, how it has evolved, okay? When we think about just that one thing, all right, I think our lives can truly take, I don't want to say just a turn, but they can take a major, major turn, right? A major, major turn. And that turn can happen in literally the fraction of an eye flash. But the reason that most people miss it is that they're focused on the future and they're not focused on like what they're seeing right now. And I think that's a huge, huge, huge thing. Okay. Um, Very, very huge. And so huge that I think some people just don't realize what it could be doing for you. Okay. Um, Maybe you don't understand. Maybe you'd like to understand, but maybe you're just getting caught. You're getting caught in that moment that is literally changing who you are. Okay. And when I say who you are, it's changing the fact that life can be different when you embrace the difference. And so difference isn't something that, we just gain overnight. Difference is something we get by, let's say, growing. Okay. Growing and understanding and, let's say, reshaping our beliefs, because that can happen, guys. It absolutely can happen. And I know, ladies and gentlemen, that you're probably saying to me, this isn't possible. But I'm here to tell you it is very, very possible. And it can truly shape and mold the success level in your life every single day. So, understanding this is key. And I think that if you can stop for just a moment to smell the coffee, to smell the roses, to just be aware of that potential shift and be grateful for it, more doors open, more satisfaction is at your fingertips. And that emotional resilience just sort of flows in. Again, you're approaching your journey with gratitude. And again, don't expect a lot at once. Just enjoy the flow of whatever you get. Number 8, recognition prevents burnout. Let me say that again. Recognition prevents burnout. Recognition prevents burnout. I think the reason that this is so popular is because it makes us feel a certain way. Okay? It makes us feel a certain way. And by feeling a certain way, we can do some amazing, amazing, amazing things. In a world driven by hustle, which is where the cultures come from, it's easy to burn out chasing the next goal, the next aspiration. But when we pause for just a moment to celebrate how far we've each come, you replenish your emotional energy. You start to recognize that it is possible to see the reward, which is now sustaining your effort. It gives you the permission to rest, recharge, and return with renewed enthusiasm. Without it, even passion becomes a chore. So the last couple of days, as you know, it's been a little crazy for me. But I would tell you, sometimes we do need to relax. And when we relax, we notice that things are very, very, very possible. Very, very possible. All right. So now we know that, again, when we give ourselves permission to rest, we'll renew our enthusiasm, even supercharge our passion. Number 9, guys, share achievements with your support network. Progress is more powerful when it's shared, whether it's a friend, mentor, or community. Inviting others into our, let's say, circle of wins builds connection and mutual encouragement. You not only inspire others, but you also reinforce your own growth through shared celebration. Humans thrive on connection, and collective recognition turns personal growth into a ripple effect of positivity. That's something that sounds only in a textbook, but it doesn't have to be if you can believe it and if you can embrace it. I think that's a very, very important thing, guys. I think sometimes we get hit up for, the moment. And by getting hit up for the moment, I think we sometimes just don't understand why things are a certain way. Um, and if you know what's going on, then you can truly appreciate your life. All right. I think that's very, very important. All right, guys. So, number 10 is where we're at right now. And, when I started this, I didn't rush to number 10. I just took each point one at a time, just one at a time, guys. Consistency, perfection. Progress isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up consistently, right? Again and again and again and again. When you focus on consistency over flawlessness, you build a sustainable path to success. Celebrating your ability to stay consistent despite setbacks or even those slowdowns is more meaningful than any idealized standard of perfection. Real transformation lives in the routine, not in a highlight reel. And, you're not trying to impress anybody with who you are. If you want to impress somebody, you should be impressing yourself. So now is the time of the program where I'm going to give you some personal stories and lessons for each point that I shared here. And I hope that this will inspire you to dig deep within yourself and let you know that there is so much potential in your life if you could just take the moment to celebrate now, to celebrate the given moment of now. Yeah. Live in the moment. Acknowledge how far you've come. I remember when I launched my first business, it felt overwhelming, the tech company. I kept focusing on what I hadn't accomplished, what I didn't do. But one night I looked back at an old notebook full of ideas and realized how many of these dreams had become reality. That reflection gave me clarity and pride. The lesson: your journey deserves just as much attention as your destination. Number 2, small wins are still wins. A few years ago, I committed to walking a little over 30 minutes every other day, and that was amazing. I also decided to wake up 30 minutes earlier. Now I wake up an hour earlier. It didn't seem like a lot, but after a month, I had a whole new set of things I could do. My content calendar was even stronger. That small win became a game changer. The lesson: small steps, no matter how small they are, lead to big outcomes when repeated consistently. Don't let other people tell you that what you're doing doesn't matter, because it does matter. I want to tell you that right off the bat. Number 3, progress fuels motivation. During a health challenge, when I was preparing for running, I tracked my energy levels and exercised each day. Seeing the steady uptick, even in small increments, kept me going. That visual proof of progress gave me fuel to keep pushing. The lesson: progress, even imperfect, builds the drive in you to continue. Number 4, celebrating builds confidence. And you might be saying, John, I don't know how this is even possible. I'm here to tell you that yes, it is very, very, very possible. After coaching my very first client many years ago and getting positive feedback, I hesitated to celebrate, thinking it was too early. But once I did, my confidence skyrocketed and I attracted even more clients. The lesson: confidence isn't about waiting for the big break. It grows every time you own your success. So my question for all of you here today or tonight: why aren't you owning your success? Why don't you give yourself more value than what you are? Because you're worth more than you're actually giving yourself credit for. Number five, reflection reinforces growth. I used to plow through projects without reviewing what I learned. Then I started journaling after each major milestone. I discovered patterns like what energized me and what didn't. The lesson, looking back, is not about regret, it's about recognizing growth. And I think too many people, when they're on a project or they're working on something, they're always looking back in the mirror of like, oh my gosh, this didn't turn out perfect. This wasn't great, right? I think that becomes a really, really big problem for a lot of people. And I mean this, ladies and gentlemen, I mean it. You need to look in the mirror, but give yourself a pat on the back. Don't wait for somebody else to. Okay, you're only going to be disappointed. Number six, success is a amazingly big journey. It's not a destination. One year, several years ago, I reached a financial goal I set for myself. I had been chasing, but instead of joy, I felt empty. That's when I realized success without savoring the journey felt hollow, felt like pointless. The lesson, the path to success is where life actually happens. Life happens between the beats of your heart. Life happens between the breaths. My question tonight to you is, do you celebrate what happens between your heartbeats? Do you celebrate what happens between your breaths? Those are the ones that matter. Number seven, guys. Gratitude amplifies progress. This is probably one of the most important things I can share with you. In a particularly tough year, right around the COVID time, I started each morning writing down three things I was grateful for. Over time, I began to notice wins I would have otherwise ignored. The lesson, gratitude brings color to the progress you didn't even know you were making. So maybe there's something small you're learning. Maybe it's a sport, and maybe you're not as good as you want to be. That's okay. Celebrate what you are able to do. Maybe it's the fact that you're able to get through the first chapter. Maybe it's the fact that you can actually practice for 30 minutes without a break. Whatever it is, celebrate that. Okay. And I think that is a very, very important thing for everyone to understand. Does that make sense, everyone? I hope it does. If it does, let me know how that changes. Does that change your life? I will tell you that you have to recognize gratitude. Gratitude for being alive, gratitude for being able to do anything in your life. You have to be grateful because I've said this before. When you learn to be grateful, not just in words, but from the heart, more things in your life show up that you can become grateful for. Number 8, recognition prevents burnout. Now, this sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. I once pushed myself for months without a break until I needed to take a break. I now pause whenever I need to recognize what I've accomplished. That habit restored my energy and drive. And I now know that it's important to step back, to take a rest, and not push. You can feel the signs when you're getting tired. When you sense a little bit of that, hold back, take a rest. Rest and recognition aren't luxuries. They are part of staying in the game, ladies and gentlemen. I mean that. A lot of people might think, oh, gee, if I rest, then I'm going to miss the big moment. No, you're actually going to be around to see the big moment because you chose to rest. Number 9, share achievements with your support network. When I got invited to speak at my first big event, I almost kept it quiet, but I shared it with my mentors and community, and their encouragement made it even more meaningful. Lesson, sharing your progress multiplies the impact of your success. I love sharing being in school. I love sharing that I finished my first class with an A average. And I love sharing the fact that knowledge for me is not a chore. It's a journey. And sometimes it's challenging, but very rewarding and something that I can literally appreciate every single time. That's big, guys. Number 10, consistency and perfection. For years, I waited to launch a personal blog until it was perfect. Then I started posting weekly, imperfections and all. The blog gained traction because I kept showing up. The lesson, showing up with your heartbeat and those breaths, showing up perfectly every time. But don't expect to be perfect because you won't when you first start. Inspirations for Your Life is a podcast that is designed to give you those powerful nuggets, the ones to allow us to look at the moments of life that maybe we've all missed. Maybe the fact that we were too busy. Maybe the fact that we didn't say thank you enough. Maybe the fact that we just didn't recognize where we are or where we were going. I think that's something that you all could do right now. Could you take a moment to be grateful for what's happening in your life? Could you take a moment to think about everything positive in this day? I know you can think about negative things, but think about all the positive things. See, because when you do that, more things which are positive show up, and your mind and body start to look for these positive things. I know, not just think, I know this is what can help propel people much, let's say, deeper into their path of success and help them become part of what I like to say immersion, which is how we learn languages, by the way. Immersion. When we emerge into who we are, we not only discover the truth of who we are, we become it from the inside out. People that try to become truthful from the outside in, it's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. When we go from the inside out, it naturally flows, right? Water doesn't flow upstream, water flows downstream. So when we put resistance in place, we get tired because we're going against the grain, right? If we're trying to sand wood and we go against the grain, it's a lot harder to do that than to sand within the grain. Does that make sense? So celebrate your progress, guys. Whether you've been alive for a couple years or many, many years, celebrate everything you've done. Take a moment to be in awe of the beauty in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Please be sure to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you guys real soon. Thanks so much. And remember to celebrate your life, every moment of it.